Moin Leute, Harald am Start. Today we're going to talk about something really interesting. You have already seen the thumbnail. Well, I didn't make it yet, but I'm sure it looks fire. I've tried to put a bit more of my face into my videos, cause, well, obviously I'm trying to sell my personality as well as my content. So, yeah, and also I thought, well, since apparently 100% of my views are male, according to the YouTube statistics, and I figured females like my face, might as well try to uh, get more views in. That's not actually what I thought. I mean, it's interesting. Cause like, I know some women watch my videos, but like, yeah, not because of a Pokemon in it, but different topic. Today, I wanted to talk about something really interesting. Well, to me it's very interesting. Why you should break rules. Obviously, I'm gonna apply this to Pokemon. You should definitely do not do this in real life because things you learn in the video game don't apply to real life, obviously, you know. And this might be like a little bit of an edgy take, you know, but luckily I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm 20, so obviously I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about life as a 20-year-old. Now, but the reason I'm doing this, I have actually planned to do this for a long time. And this gonna be a longer video, so feel free to click off if you're boring or bored, I guess. Sorry. Oh man, I love stupid jokes like this if you guys didn't know. Let me know your favorite dad joke in the comments. My favorite dad joke is probably one I came up myself with. Yes, I want to sell my personality. Yes. Nah, like I saw Zach playing through like Scarlet and Violet and he was like, damn, there are so many bugs, and I was like, yo, bug catchers must love this game. Get it? Cause yeah. Okay, so let's get going with the video. It's gonna be like an hour long, I can already tell. So one thing I did is I looked at some of my best teams, So this is just a collection of my best teams. So this team is from Series 11, and I got it to rank 2 twice. This is from, oh sorry, this is from Series 10. This is from Series 11. I got it to top 10 on the Pokemon Showdown ladder very late into the season. This team, my favorite team ever, Zaru Daddy Z, sheesh. Easy, rank 1, smash! With a drippy Zaru, oh my god, yeah. Oh yeah. Gotta hide my boner right now. No, I'm joking. And then, this team, I also got it to rank 2 twice. I missed out on rank 1 very, very barely, which I'm going to talk about later, why and how. Oh boys, I was just editing the video, and I forgot to say why I didn't get this team to rank number 1. And the reason is actually that I didn't outplay the opponent. Why didn't I do it? Well, I didn't have the balls. And also another reason, I actually thought that I would be able to win even if I don't outplay the opponent, which ended up to be wrong because the health calcs are were very bad at that time. Reason being, I didn't use this team a lot and I didn't play. No, I did play a lot of Pokemon, but I wasn't very familiar with this team and also head calcs. So the issue was that I didn't have well recognized enough patterns, Like whenever I think back to the situation, it breaks my own heart. Well, if I had one, it would break. I'm joking, of course. Because outplaying protects. Which so how did I lose? For any of you guys who don't remember, which are probably all of you, which like why would you remember this? Basically, I had Kyogre Zacian in the late game, and I don't know what I had. I had Genesect, and then something else. Like I don't remember the exact situation, but basically, Kyogre protected, and I would have won if I doubled the Zacian. However, I didn't, and I hit into the Kyogre's protect, thinking I would be able to knock it out next turn, which I didn't end up doing, and then I lost the game. If I doubled the Zacian, I would have won. And you guys are probably thinking, what? You attacked into a protect. Are you stupid? No, that's not what you're thinking. Obviously, protect is a really good move. However, I'm probably the guy who, on a high level, outplays protect the most. Maybe not, but definitely one of the guys who does it a lot. With my Quillfish team, I did it so many times. After a while, for a long time, I doubled into so many protects. You can see this in my Quillfish is so bad video. I doubled into every protect, pretty much. And in my oh my god, Quillfish is actually busted video, I outplayed every single protect. Well, I don't know if it's actually true, but I think you get the point, right? Why is this? Well, pattern recognition, which I'm gonna talk about later, which is one of the big reasons why I got to rank 1. However, this time I didn't get to rank 1 because of my lack of experience in the format, and not in the format, but my lack of experience with this team. And also back then, I really had anxiety about outplaying the opponents because I don't know why. I was just a big pussy at that time, so yeah, like why should like that's a whole nother topic. Like why you should or shouldn't outplay. That's actually a huge topic in the Pokemon community. Most people just say don't outplay, focus on more important things. Yeah, you should do this. You're gonna end up like a pussy at rank 2, bro, twice. So don't be a pussy. Have balls. My message to all of you guys. Except if you're women, then be very feminine, of course. But yeah, again, women don't really watch my videos and not for the life lessons in it. So yeah. However, like I said, some women do watch it. So yeah, shout out. Or I guess not. But who cares? Yeah. So where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I failed hitting rank 1 because I didn't outplay the protect, because I didn't use this team enough to recognize the pattern, and because I wasn't self-confident enough to go for the outplay. Yeah, hope that sums it up. Enjoy the rest of the video. And now my rank 1 showdown team from Scarlet and Violet Series 1. And reason I'm doing this, multiple reasons actually. First of all, I obviously want to educate you guys, because obviously I know a lot about Pokemon, and you guys obviously know a lot about Pokemon as well, but there are loads of things that Pokemon YouTubers don't tell you. And, well, I'm going to tell you these secrets, so make sure to subscribe if you want to learn more about these secrets. And I really feel like making some more educational content. Again, this doesn't apply to real life as well, definitely not, often, you know. Now, and one thing that I really like about Pokemon is pattern recognition, you know. Obviously, as an intelligent guy, if you're watching this, you're gonna have very good pattern recognition. And I think pattern recognition is one of these things that just makes me really good at Pokemon. Because, as you guys can probably imagine, as a stupid fucker like me, I don't have any pattern recognition. Obviously, I have pattern recognition. And that's one skill that is really, really important in Pokemon. Because it can give you such huge fucking advantage in multiple different ways. Let's give an example. In Series 11, loads of people just used Series 8 teams pretty much, because obviously it was the same rule set as in Series 11. However, also, oh no, wait, that actually applies more to Series 12. But obviously, if you recognize the patterns in team building for Series 8 teams, you're gonna be able to also build good teams for Series 11. By better example, Series 12. I remember I said in one of my videos, I won't look it up right now, it's gonna take like 5 hours to just find this one clip. So what I said is basically, people are gonna use Series 11 teams and just slap in another restricted Pokemon to fix the weaknesses of their Series 11 teams, and then use these teams in Series 12 with just another restricted Pokemon, which is obviously really smart. Like, you don't put any effort into it, and you still have the knowledge that you had that you have about how the team works in Series 11, so you're already at a really big advantage. And looking at the team that won the World Championship, and I'm pretty sure a similar team like this existed in Series 11 as well. Don't not know for sure, but I mean, what I'm saying is it's obviously really fucking smart, you know? However, I was able to recognize this pattern and then build teams that can counter those teams. However, that wasn't really fun to me, so I stopped doing it. Another example is actually why I didn't get rank 1 with this team, which we are going to talk about later. So another reason why pattern recognition is really important. Obviously, when I'm building teams, I have like a little like like when I build teams, you can pretty much tell my style loads of times. You know, I pretty much have a style of team building. But if you look through my teams, most are like just the teams on my PC. On my phone have like 800 more. Like it's very very difficult to see patterns. But like I remember once I watched a video. I may look up a clip. I don't know how much. Like I don't have much time, but I really love making content, so maybe I'll put in the time to do this. But and I watched a Riedel 2 video, one of my favorite YouTubers, of course, because he makes really interesting and creative teams. And he actually battled on the unranked ladder and battled one of my teams. And he said like, damn, this team is so shit, you know, it's so standard or whatever, which I disagree with obviously, but and then he also battled another team that was also from me, and I think actually it was the Wood Daddy team, and he was like, damn, these two teams are so similar. So, you know, obviously he recognized the pattern, which something about those teams made them like recognizable. And obviously both teams were good. Obviously the Zoe Daddy one is like way better, you know.
I decided to use a physical Celebi, and the rest of my Pokemon, Reshiram, Zekrom, Zamazenta, Mewtwo, and Tapu Fini, literally 6 legendaries, and I love that for us, as my opponent also has 6 legendaries. Well, they also have Whimsicott instead of a 6 legendary, but honestly, Whimsicott is better than like 90% of the legendaries and doubles anyway, so, and some of y'all might think I'm being a crybaby for that, but those who play doubles actually realize how frustrating Whimsicott can be to deal with. I'm Mewtwo, and I know my cool. Okay, not exactly Ubers, but you know, Talonflame plus 5 legendaries, so basically the same team as the last opponent who had Whimsicott plus 5 legendaries. But yeah, let's just get into this final battle.
But so there are some things that make these teams good, and I don't even know what these things are myself. So by looking at this, I will be able to recognize why I'm doing this. How long is it? Already 10 minutes in, and I haven't even talked about what I wanted to talk about. Who cares? You guys enjoy this. If not, let me know. I don't know if you guys enjoy this. I don't want to gaslight you, but I mean, yeah, you obviously know what you enjoy and what not, you know. If you're still watching, I feel like you're enjoying this, so that's why I'm saying this. Where was I going? Oh yeah, I want to recognize the patterns in my own teams, which is why I want to do this. So let's look at my first good team, which is actually not built by me. It is actually built by my boy, Randstreifensahacker. I did change some things to pretty much make the team my own. I don't know which version this is. There are lots of versions of this team, obviously. I, for example, put in the Nidoqueen. I'm a really big Nidoqueen enjoyer. This Nidoqueen is able to one-shot Zacian without any bulk, which back then was the only Zacian that people ran. Good old times, bro. Good old times. And one thing that is really cool about this team is it's very telegraphed, you know? It's very spreadsheety, which nowadays is something I really don't like, because like if you don't know what spreadsheets are, it's basically you like write down what you do in what situation, you know. I don't like to write these things down. I like to have them in my head, in my brain. But for example, against Kyogre, I literally always won. I think I lost like one game against Kyogre where I was like super through, but like I always won. Because against Kyogre teams, what you always can do, you can always lead in DD Calyrex, get up Trick Room, go Lurantis, or play the Kyogre to protect, hit the Incineroar next to it with Superpower, get an attack boost, and even if I don't protect, you don't die to Ice Beam, and then you can Leaf Blade or Grassy Glide the Kyogre, and then, as soon as Kyogre is gone, Torkoal sweeps in the sun. You know? Pretty easy, pretty simple stuff. Obviously, people are gonna deviate a little bit every time. However, like I said, I pretty much, and my homie as well, I almost said his real name, he always won against Kyogre as well. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool, because that means that you never actually have to think when you play against Kyogre, you know. Every time you see a Kyogre, it's literally an instant win, which is actually incredibly valuable if you're doing ladder ones, because one thing that is really important is your fucking energy, because it's actually for me, playing Pokemon is obviously like very emotional, especially on a high level. It's very emotionally draining because what you're pretty much doing is communicating all the time. Every move, every decision is pretty much communicating to your opponent, which is, I don't know if you thought about this, but think about this. Let's say I lead indeed the Calyrex as they lead Kyogre, and they don't knock out my Calyrex Ice. So pretty much what I'm telling them is, bro, if you lead Kyogre, I'm always gonna get a Trick Room. You know, this is what I'm telling them, and they are like, oh shit, bro, I didn't know this because obviously they didn't know my team. Let's say we battle again. They're not gonna lead Kyogre, are they? Because I just told them you're not gonna stop my Trick Room by leading Kyogre. So maybe we are just going to lead with something else. In which case, maybe it's better to lead Malamar. Because maybe there leads like something like Entei, for example, with Eruption, which can stop my Cardiacs from tripping, but all of a sudden Malamar just takes the hit, eats his Agraf Berry, and then I get up Trick Room, you know? This is just communication pretty much, isn't it? I hope you guys agree. If not, let me know why or why not. Um, So yeah, this is why Pokemon is very emotionally draining for me at times. Obviously, on a high level, it's way more emotionally draining because, like, if a fucking 1100 guy, no offense, but like, if an 1100 guy like leads off with something, he's not telling you, bro, I'm doing this because of that. He's just telling you, oh, I let off with this, so it just doesn't have to mean anything, you know. Like, obviously, I could be the 1100 guy, but like, you know what I mean, right? It doesn't have to tell you anything. So that's why it's really important to just not care about this, which is why I think this is an amazing trade of this team. Let's go to the next team. The next team right here from Series 11. And immediately we see a huge fucking difference to the last team. This team, oh, I should have put one more team here as well. Who cares? This team is so much different from the last team. So much different. Why is this? Well, Trick Room is very telegraphed. So what does this mean? Pretty much, you set up Trick Room, you win. That's how Trick Room teams work. It's very easy. You don't have to be incredibly skilled to pull this off. Obviously, there are loads of little things that you can do to improve the game, and obviously, I played incredibly well with my Trick Room team. Of course, otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get to rank 2 twice, which is insane, you know? However, this team, like I said, it's really different. This team is way more flexible. There are so much things you can do. I have a whole video, I think it's like half an hour long, explaining how this team works. You have so much different modes. Obviously, it's also very telegraphed, and there are also loads of things that can just instantly win the game. For example, you just lead with a hot chick, Blaziken, and Thunderous. You just go for coaching and max airstream. And then next turn you just overheat Versace, which doesn't do any damage to the Thunderous because obviously you are coached up and stuff, and then you just win, for example. That's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do, lead Helping Hand plus Eternatus. I think I actually did this like once. And just one-shot Zacian, or just one-shot the opposing Thunderous with Helping Hand Dynamax Cannon before they get an Airstream off. You can lead with a Drill and Blaziken. You can coach up and knock out Mimikyu with Max Steel Spike, even if I lead Incineroar. Stuff like this. So much things that you can do, so much different things that you can do. Incredibly complicated team. And if you mess up once, if you make one incorrect play, if you make one incorrect prediction, you lose. However, if you get it wrong, if you get it right, you win, which makes this team absolutely fucking amazing. It's the ultimate high risk, high reward. You know, incredibly high risk, high reward. So this team was incredibly telegraphed, incredibly spreadsheety, and this team is pretty much the whole opposite of this. And now we get to Zarude Daddy, my favorite team of all time. What makes this team good? Well, obviously, lots of things. However, why I really like this team is obviously because of Zarude Daddy. Like, Zarude Daddy is such a big brain anti-meta pick, bro. It's actually insane. How did not people recognize this? Bro, like, people still think that Zarude Daddy is one of the worst mythicals like in the game. Bro, it literally beats Kyogre, it beats Groudon, it beats Calyrex Shadow. Like, first of all, what more do you want? Like, oh my god, it's driving me crazy. But what makes this team good? This team is my first number one team. And you know, why this team is the first team where I got to number 1. It is incredibly consistent. And what does this mean? You could play bad and still win, yes. However, you do this without the team being telegraphed, you know? With a Trick Room team, you can play bad and still win because it's a Trick Room team. You just surprise the opponent, or you just have something that the opponent can deal with. However, with this team, you have multiple things that the opponent really can't deal with. And so what things you do doesn't really matter. Because if you think about the Series 10, Series 11 team with Explode and stuff, you have pretty much only one way to beat the opponent. With this team, you have multiple ways. So it's pretty similar to chess in a way. This team is also one of the bulkiest team that I ever like seriously used. Which is insane to think about because this team is fucking hyper offensive as all hell, bro. It's literally like every single thing is like super aggressive. However, this team actually really allows you to do really bulky pivots, and you can really use this team whatever way you like. You can use it very offensively, you can use it very defensively, you can use it very telegraphed as well. You can just click buttons, you can just do whatever the fuck you want. It's incredibly flexible. My favorite team. And that makes it very different from all the other teams. Next up, this team is just a fucking like meme team. Like I know, it like only has like one. Like actually, that does have 2 crazy Pokemon. I guess Alolan Persian doesn't really count as a crazy Pokemon. However, looking at its item, it's definitely very crazy. This team, I don't know. I never really liked this team, to be honest. Nah, I really do like it. I really do love Genesect. This team just goes all in with Genesect. Like this is one thing that I never did in any other team. You just go all in with one Pokemon. Genesect is super glass cannon-y, and you just put all in Genesect, you know? You use Kyogre to stop fire moves. You use Groudon to stop water moves. You use Whimsicott to set up Tailwind and to stop Trick Room. You use Alolan Persian to support it with like Fake Out and Fake Tears and stuff, so the opponent can Tailwind or do whatever, or hit it. You Dynamax to live, run, hit, and you try to one-shot everything, and everything that doesn't get one-shot gets revenge killed by Kyogre, or like Zacian or whatever, you know? So that's basically what makes this team uh special. It's like all in on one Pokemon. And now this team. Also probably one of my most favorite teams, bro. Electros. I don't think Electros saw any serious VGC usage before this team. We have loads of Pokemon that ended up being top meta threats before even the meta developed. So immediately you can see how pattern recognition pushed me to the literally the top of the world. My pattern recognition literally pushed me to the top of the world in the thing that I'm most passionate about, or was, which is Pokemon. Obviously, I'm still super passionate about Pokemon, as you guys can tell, but yeah, like I said, like, again, all of these Pokemon, except Farigiraf, actually turned out to be meta threats and Toxicity, and obviously Electros. Top meta threats, which back then weren't. Back then weren't top meta. I guess Garchomp was. Annihilate back then wasn't. As from what I remember, at least. So, that's actually insane. So there are so many great lessons in this video. And what makes this team special is it's also very telegraphed, but in a different way. You have so many combos that you can do. It's very like old school VGC, and I didn't play any old school VGC. As you guys know, I started playing competitive in Sword and Shield, like just before the first DLC, pretty much. So I started playing competitive Pokemon. You have Boom Burst plus a Ghost type. You have Discharge plus a Ground type. You have Discquake, Earthquake next to Levitate Pokemon, and then Discharge. You have Farigiraf Murkrow combination. You have Earthquake next to a Flying type. So many different combinations and things that you can do. Murkrow Annihilate is also a really good lead by the way. I saw Wi-Fi man using this a lot. Actually was really surprised by this. So first thing that we need to learn is always step out of your comfort zone. Which is one thing I really love doing, because it's a difficult way and I love going with a difficult way, but this is one thing I really love doing, and that as you guys can see, it literally pushed me to the top of the world, you know? So, that is absolutely amazing. Another really great lesson to learn from this video. However, we are right now 20 minutes in and I still haven't even talked about the reason why I clicked on this video, which thank you for your patience. Make sure to leave a like as well to support me. Yeah, boy. And yeah, maybe you can send this video to someone who will learn from it as well. I don't know. So, where was I going? Oh yeah, why should you break rules? Well, you may have noticed while watching my videos or other people's videos, like I saw one comment, why is nobody using protect anymore? Is protect bad? No, no. Why are people starting to use three Pokemon of the same type? I haven't talked about this here. This is the most recent one, you should still know. If not, just check out my videos with it. Um, why, why are people using 1, 2, 3 Pokemon which all have an electric type weakness? You know, like you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't go against these rules. However, I got this team to 1964, I think, which is absolutely insane. You know, like that is absolutely fucking insane. So clearly, there's something about rules that you don't know if you're watching this video. I mean, maybe you do, but you know, like if you already know everything, why are you watching this video? I don't know. I obviously like yeah. So first, so one thing that you should do is you should ask yourself, why do rules exist? And obviously, in this case, why do these rules exist? So, why do team building rules exist? Because obviously, if you just do whatever, you're not gonna build a good team. So, what makes a good team? It's actually difficult. Yeah, obviously, you have to be well prepared for the most important meta threats. You shouldn't have loads of different, like, you shouldn't have multiple weaknesses of the same type. You should have the team being well balanced, not too offensively, not too defensively. Defensively, you shouldn't use bad Pokemon. Blah blah blah. All of these rules make me cringe so hard, bro. I don't know if you noticed, but these rules make me cringe so hard because it's all wrong. It is all wrong, bro. These rules don't mean anything. You shouldn't listen to people who tell you these things. Don't get me. No, no, no. Don't understand me. Wrong. You should listen to them. However, this is where it gets interesting. You should listen to these rules, but you shouldn't follow these rules. Why is this? Let me tell you after the ad break. No, I'm joking. Of course. Now, why is this? You have to understand these rules. That is what you are supposed to do. That is what I do. Again, to get to literally the top of the world, you know. I understand these rules, and then I break them most of the time. Like if you look at any of my good teams, I can tell you at least one, maybe two team building, team like rules that I broke while team building. And the more I go on with my teams, the more rules I break. So this probably doesn't make a lot of sense to you. So let me ask you this. If you are a new Pokemon player, which I think a lot of you guys are, which is interesting because how did you find my channel? I know for some of you guys, like how you found the channel. If not, let me know in the comments because obviously if I want to grow my channel I don't really care about like growth and like likes and stuff. But I actually really do care. I mean, I do care about likes because every time someone likes my video, I know someone really enjoyed it, you know, which is why I do these videos. If you guys wouldn't enjoy these videos, I wouldn't do these videos, you know. So again, thank you guys for the support. And also like I really care about like getting comments and stuff because every time like someone comments, that means someone actually cares enough to comment, you know. Because obviously on a channel like PewDiePie or whatever, obviously people just comment, you know. But on my channel, people like genuinely like have something to say when they comment, or they genuinely like say something funny, and sometimes they just like write stupid shit, which is obviously fine. I don't care, but yeah. Where was I going? Oh yeah, I wanna find like more high quality people that enjoy my channel, and obviously yeah. So make sure to I don't know, fuck off if you're not a good person, I guess. Where was I going? Lost my train of thought for a second. Oh yeah, let's say you are a new player. You should follow these rules because you don't know what you're doing. So if I were to build a team right now, let's say OU, someone wanted to see OU content. OU content is coming. I don't know when, but like it's coming. And you know what? My favorite Pokemon is actually Magikarp. So when I build a team about Magikarp, let's use my second favorite Pokemon. What's my second favorite Pokemon? Oh yeah, Sobble. I really like Sobble. And then I also wanna use Zacian, cause I don't know, I hate Zacian, but I don't wanna like the team too much, you know, cause then I would just like win, because yeah, obviously I'm breaking all the rules imaginable, you know. Like, how the fuck do you expect me to win with this team? I can't even use it because obviously Zacian is banned, you know. So what I do is I follow the rules. I build a well balanced team. I use Pokemon that can set up stealth rocks, like Garchomp. Let's say I use the like defensive Garchomp with like leftovers, stealth rocks, protect. And then, oh, Garchomp is really weak to ice type moves. Let's use a Corviknight. So I can use Corviknight to switch into the ice type attacks, and also I can defog, and I can also resist the dragon type moves, and Garchomp resists the electric type moves, so blah blah blah, and also I'm very well balanced, defense, offense, blah. You're doing a great job, amazing. You should do this. However, imagine you find like fucking Storm Zone or whatever, or like Pokemon or like Blunder on the ladder, you know. I don't know, is like let's just look at the ladder. Let's say um damn. Let's say you battle uh agency is own. Der I actually saw the video where they used the number one team on the ladder. This team broke so many rules of team building, which dude, 2052. It's crazy, bro. The team that was number one on the fucking Oyo Shonen ladder. It's absolutely crazy. It breaks so many rules of team building. So again, what do you think happens when you use a basic witch team against really, really strong players? They are going to see through your tactics. Because obviously, they have seen shit like this a million times. They wouldn't be number one in the fucking world if they just did basic shit. One thing that is like a really big secret to becoming a super good Pokemon player is you have to understand as much things as possible about your opponent and also your opponent's team. Because the more you understand about the opponent's team, the easier it will be to beat this. You can see this in my recent videos with the Quillfish team. I used to really struggle with Dodonzos and stuff, especially the Revival Blessing one. However, then I battled against a top 10 opponent, like almost 2000 points, and I just completely steamrolled them, even though I made multiple misplays, which is absolutely insane to think about. Like, I made multiple mistakes against the fucking one of the best players in the world, and by one of the best players, he was literally top 10 best players in the world. Like, bro, imagine you play fucking in like 1v1 against Ronaldo and you like trip two times and you still beat him, like in that, like, and you still like get around him and then pass to your opponent or whatever, and you like trip two times before this. Isn't that fucking crazy? Yes. So why was I able to do this? Because I totally understood what the opponent's team is supposed to do. You know, I read through it. I saw through tactics, and was able to understand what the opponent team is supposed to do. Thus, I was able to understand what the opponent wants to do, and thus I was able to figure out what I need to do in order for the opponent not to do what he wants to do. This may sound complicated, and this is obviously we're talking about literally the most complex MMORPG in the world, where you have trillions and trillions of options, like every turn of things that you can do and how you can customize your characters and team build or whatever. Obviously it's gonna be complicated. I hope you guys understand. If not, don't be afraid to ask me in the comments about what I'm talking about. Don't, but I'm sure most of you will understand this. You have to ask yourself, what does the opponent want to do, and when what will he do? Most things will obviously bring you to the top of a ladder. So that's a key thing. So again, if you do something like this, the opponent is gonna know what to do, and he's going to beat you. Just like I beat the top 10 guy. Funnily enough, the team that's going on right now, which finished ranked number 1 on the in-game ladder, I also beat this on Showdown multiple times. I obviously don't know if I beat the fucking world champion who got to number 1 in the world at the end of the month, because I don't know his Showdown account, but I'm assuming he didn't make this team public before the last month. So there's a very high chance that I just beat the fucking best player in the world multiple times by breaking the rules. I don't know. And even if it's not the same player, obviously he was a really super fucking strong player using literally the best team in the world. And I was able to beat him multiple times using pattern recognition and also because I broke rules. So this is the main reason why you should break rules. However, don't just break rules to break rules. That is insanely fucking stupid. Dude, this is insanely fucking stupid. Don't just break rules to break rules. What are you thinking? No. Why you should break rules is actually a very simple reason. I'm sure some of you actually already figured it out. You should break rules because you should understand why these rules are in place in the first place. And by understanding why these rules are in place in the first place, you are going to be able to ignore these rules or break the rules without the negative consequences. Because why are rules in place in the first place? Why? Why shouldn't I just put 6 magic cards in my team? Why shouldn't I just go around like choking people or whatever? Why shouldn't I do it? Well, obviously because if I just lose 6 magic cards, I'm gonna get overwhelmed. Because I'm using 6 bad Pokemon. Why shouldn't I go? Because there are consequences. Why shouldn't I go around choking people? Because they're gonna fucking hit me. Obviously, I'm not like they don't like to be choked. So however, what if these people do like to be choked? All of a sudden these negative consequences are not there, and obviously I can just go around choking people. If you wanna get choked, hit me up in my Instagram DMs. I'm joking. Dude, I don't Instagram DMs, bro. Oh, stop doing this. Stop Instagram DMing people, bro. Oh my god. The DMs I got, oh my god. Okay. Yeah. So why shouldn't you use bad Pokemon? Well, this is a rule. Obviously, because you are going to lose. Because when you could use good Pokemon, why would you use bad Pokemon? Let's go to the most recent example, Quillfish. I made a video, Quillfish is bad. Few days later, I made a video. I was wrong about Quillfish, where I went undefeated for half an hour, going from 18 to 1900s, so into the top 50 in the world. I got undefeated from like top 200 to top 50, playing against the best players in the world. I got with his team, I don't know how many wins, maybe 20, in wins in a row, against the best players in the world, using a bad Pokemon. Actually, it's not a bad Pokemon, I think. However, that doesn't matter. It's considered to be a bad Pokemon. It must be a bad Pokemon. That's how it goes. So I broke the rule of you shouldn't use a bad Pokemon. However, why shouldn't you use a bad Pokemon? Obviously, because you're gonna have a disadvantage. However, Quillfish, I'm sure you guys already figured that one out as well, actually gave me a huge advantage. Because with Haze and the support from Pelipper, I found a way out to consistently beat Dodonzo. And if you guys didn't know, Dodonzo on high ladder, this is a fun fact, only on high ladder it has high usage. On high ladder, like I think starting at like 1700s, it has almost 30% usage. And like at 1200, it got like 10% usage. So every third team on the high ladder, so the best players in the world are using this Pokemon. 1/3 of the time. We are using Dodonzo. And Quillfish, I found out a way to make Quillfish defeat Dodonzo pretty much 100% of the time. Which means 1/3 of the time, I win 100% of the time. Because I broke a fucking rule. Isn't that fucking insane? I think that's fucking insane. So this is why I should break rules, guys. Step 1. Understand why these rules are in place in the first place. Step 2. Understand these rules, the potential consequences, the upsides, the downsides of these rules or breaking these rules. Step 3. Break them. But smart. Just like I did. So, feel free to click off now. Now I'm going to talk about some really good examples. So this team, #1 team in the world. Again, I use pattern recognition, creativity, and intelligence to thrive and get to the top. Let's go. I broke loads of rules. This team. So many rules are broken, I don't even know where to start. First of all, there is not a single defensive Pokemon on this team. Yes, there are some things that are like defensive. Like obviously Murkrow has like max fist def EVs, okay. Bro literally got 42 defense, 60 HP. You guys understand what I'm talking about. The only form of damage reduction, which is one of the most important things on high level competitive Pokemon play, is damage reduction. My only form of damage reduction is fucking bulk up. Okay? I have not only one, but 2 bad Pokemon on a team. I don't have Protect on any of my fucking Pokemon. If you guys didn't already watch my channel, you should be fucking mind blown right now. Like, how is a team like this able to get to rank 1 in the world? Well, think about it. What do you need Protect for? You need it to protect your Pokemon from danger. You need it for bulky pivot situations. You need to get it to potentially get out of tricky situations. It's an amazing move. However, I hate Protect. I just hate it, so I just didn't use it. I don't want to use Protect. What would giving any of these Pokemon Protect do? Nothing! Nothing. Why is this? Why the fuck would I ever protect my Thilgiraf? I actually want my Thilgiraf to die. I actually want it to die. Crazy, I know. But, like, another rule that's broken. Like, I want my Pokemon to die. Also, if I lead Murkrow, sometimes I want Murkrow to die. Sometimes I actually wanted my Annihilate to die. Like, sometimes I just want my Pokemon to die. Why is this? Dude, I need to drink something, bro. Oh, my god. Why is this? Well, this team is very aggressive, very hyper offensive. So basically, you wanna outspeed and outdamage the opponent. So what do you need Protect for if you outspeed and one-shot your opponents? You know? You don't position yourself by protecting and switching. You position yourself by killing yourself and switching. Because then you get like a free switching and like a kill on top of it. Blah. Like, I guess I'm not doing a good job at explaining this. Picture this. I have Murkrow and Toxicity as a lead. And the opponent leads Garchomp and Murkrow. I actually want to Boom Burst and Terra Normal with my Toxicity. Because that is going to almost knock out maybe Garchomp. Let's say they have Hydreigon. Let's say they have Hydreigon and Garchomp. I want my Murkrow. Let's say they have Murkrow and Hydreigon. I want my Murkrow to set up Tailwind. Because the opponent in this Murkrow is also going to set up Tailwind. And I need to match the Tailwind in order to not get outsplayed and thus lose the game. So, I want to Tailwind. However, what is my Murkrow doing after I Tailwind? It's just clicking Foul Play. Obviously, Haste doesn't do anything because it only would help the opponent because it would get rid of the special attack drops. And if the opponent uses Snarl, when I can use haste. But let's say for Vic's example, they don't use Snarl, you know? They use Draco Meteor, which I predict them to use with Draco Meteor. And can't even taunt because both of your opponent's Pokemon are dark types. If I don't kill my own Murkrow with 1 or 2 Boom Bursts, the opponent is essentially going to have a 1v1. Because Murkrow isn't gonna do anything. Yeah, I need to drink something. So, I want to actually kill my own Toxtricity. So I can get the free switcher into my Garchomp. So I can kill the Hydreigon before it kills my Toxtricity. Yeah, I really need to drink something. So basically, this is why I should break rules. It gets you to the fucking top of the world, bro. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a nice evening, night, morning, whatever. Haut rein. Ciao.